Okay, so this is what your shoreline should look like. So now we're going to do the islands. Go up to Layer, Create Layer, New Shapefile, set it to Africa Lambert Conformal Conic, and it's going to be a polygon. And click OK, and it should prompt you. Make sure you're at the same place. I already have an islands polygon, so just type in islands up top, and then click Save. I have to replace mine. You shouldn't have to. So there you go. Now we just have a blank islands polygon that doesn't have anything in it. Alrighty. First thing we're going to do is double click on it and change the fill to transparent fill. Click OK. And there we go. So we're going to zoom into these islands down here. And we're going to do this way a little different than we did the other shoreline. The other shoreline, we drew a box around it and then moved all the vertices in to match it. This time we're just going to draw around it, and you can see the differences with it. It gets a little tough to see at times because the box is then being drawn over top of the area you're trying to digitize. So it can be done this way, but it's just a little different. So you're going to zoom into the island, make sure your scale is set to 1 to 25,000 at the bottom. You're going to click on it, go up to Start Editing, and click Add Feature. And then we're just going to start digitizing around it. So all you have to do is start clicking and go around the points. And this is what I was talking about, where it drags this box around. It kind of gets tough to see where you're clicking. So just try your best to get what you can. And that's what I'm starting to have problems with. When you come back in, I can't see where the shoreline actually is. So you're just going to keep clicking and try the best that you can to get the edge of the shoreline. And then right click when you're done and just toss a number in there, or you can just click OK. It doesn't really matter. So there you go. There are all the vertices around it, and it doesn't look too bad, but we're going to click the node tool and start dragging those nodes to better fit the shape. So for the most part, it seemed pretty good. So there we go. We're going to just save those edits. And now click Add Feature, and we're going to do this next island. Same thing. Just keep clicking it. And go all the way around. And then try to work your way back. And right click, and then you type a number in there, or click OK. But see, I clearly missed that little indent, so you're going to click on the node tool, and we're going to bring that back in. And there you go. And at any point, you can just double click on the line. It'll add another node if you would like to do that. So again, I'm going to save my edits and just turn off the editing, and then start panning over. There should be 2 more islands right by here once this is done rendering. Okay, we're going to get this little island. This one should be pretty straightforward. And there we go, Add Feature. And just start clicking it. Yeah, and this one isn't too bad. This one's pretty straight up. And click, and then right click. And 3. Okay. And see, that one I don't need to adjust. That one worked just fine. I'm just going to zoom out, and there's another island a little bit towards the bottom. So I'm going to zoom back in. Make sure my scale is at 1 to 25,000. It is. So I can click Add Features and start doing this again. And so you can determine for yourself which one you find easier. If you like drawing a box around the entire thing that you're going to digitize and then just moving the vertices in, you can do that. Or you can try to digitize it to the best of your ability and then go back and change up all the nodes. It's kind of up to you. It's more of a preference thing. Quite frankly, I probably enjoy the box more just so I can actually see what I'm doing and I don't have to go back on entire areas. So click the node tool. I missed that gap again. I'm going to just start adjusting and making it fit. Everything looks good down there, but again, I missed that. So I'm going to double click in there, add another node, and just kind of pinch it in a little bit. Save my edits. Turn off the editor, and we're going to zoom out. So there's a bunch of islands that you can do. I just did these 4, and I'm going to go and start on the other big one that's directly next to the shoreline. So you can do as many as you like. It's the same process over and over, but at least do those, and then we'll do the big one over here together also. And again, I'm doing it the same way that I just did for the other islands, where I'm digitizing it as I go, and I'll go back and change the mistakes. For a big area like this, it probably is better just to do the box, but again, it's all preference. So we get to the area we want, we're going to zoom in, go 1 to 25,000. Okay, we're going to click on editor, make sure you're on islands, toggle on your editor, add feature, and start digitizing like we were before. Make sure you get all the little slopes and slants. You see, it just I missed some spots from doing it this way because I couldn't see it all the way, so that's why I just kind of prefer doing the box. And then you don't have to go back and adjust all those single nodes. You can kind of just do it on the fly. So go back to click to add features and just keep following along the coast. Alrighty, I'm just going to pause this video while I do the rest of it so it doesn't take forever. Okay, so here we go. I now have all of my islands digitized. You only have to have a couple of them, and then that big one, I just happen to have all of them done. So they should be hollowed out like this, and what we're going to do is we're now going to combine the 2 polygons and make them work. So QGIS is just acting a little weird right now. So I went into islands, I right clicked on it, went to properties, and we're going to change the style, simple fill, and we're just going to pick any color. It doesn't really matter. I just picked pink, click OK, and give that a second while that runs. And there we go. So now all my islands are colored in pink, and we're going to go to, mine's called Teaching Shoreline. Yours is just going to be called Shoreline. It's the one we made earlier. You're going to right click it, go to properties, and we're going to change the color of that one also. It's easier to explain. Let's give it a second while this runs. Alright, so change the color. It doesn't matter what you choose. I just chose this little orangish color. Click OK. And give that a second. So what we're going to do here is, once this fills in, it's easier to explain, but we're going to take this big shoreline polygon and we're going to act like the islands are a cookie cutter, and we're just going to punch right through that shoreline, and it's going to give us a proper thing that we want. So we're going to go up to Vector, Geoprocessing Tools, and click on Difference. And you're going to use your shoreline. Mine's Teaching Shoreline. Yours is just going to be Shoreline. And then the difference layer is going to be Islands. Browse where you want to save it. Okay. We're going to call it Final Shoreline. I already have one, so I just clicked it, but you're going to type it in that box, and then you're going to click Save. And I want to replace mine. You won't have to do that. And then click OK. It's going to take about maybe a minute to run, maybe a little less. It all depends on the computer. First time I did it, it didn't take too long, but this time it seems to be taking a little bit longer. So we'll just wait till that is done. But yeah, so that shoreline polygon has that big open area of all orange, and the islands are inside of it. So we're just going to basically push those islands through, and it's going to leave cutouts inside of our shoreline polygon. So when that is done, you'll actually see it. Shouldn't be too much longer. There we go. Okay. So you want to click close. I accidentally click OK. I shouldn't do that. So just close that out, and then turn off your islands and turn off your shoreline. And there we go. So now you have this shoreline around the original thing that you did, and then all of the islands. So usually you would actually have all the imagery for the island or for the lake. So it would come up all like that. So you wouldn't have just these kind of boxes. This green would actually be your water, and then you would have your outside of the shoreline, and then any island that is inside of the shoreline.